Welcome back to the Have Not Room. I am Ben, joined here by Chad and Brian to talk about the Week 2 eviction of Big Brother 27, and I guess just Week 2 overall. I would say this eviction episode, not the strongest. I'd say probably the weakest episode of the season so far for me, just because there wasn't a lot of excitement, and it was a pretty... everything that happened was kind of what I would have expected to happen coming in. Unanimous vote. But yeah, Brian, am I your lemon drop?
Yeah, wow, that was a wild comment by Julie.
Yeah.
And I feel like Will was like, I can't answer that without like getting in trouble one way or another. So handled well by him. Just be like, well, insane stuff coming from Julie.
Yeah. Probably one of the most deranged things Julie has said, and then she's been on Big Brother on live TV.
There's a long history of deranged things Julie has said. This is well up there.
Yeah.
God help her.
Yeah, I don't know. What's God's thoughts about like flirting with a married man on live TV? Like it's I'd say he probably does not condone that, but I'm not very religious, so.
Yeah, hey,
Guess if there's a will, there's a way. Literally.
Jesus Christ.
That's all I have tonight, folks.
Yeah, I guess this was an interesting week. Chad, you haven't, I know Brian's put out some videos and talking about the like powers. So I think that's kind of like the opening like salvo this week is this HOH competition that Jimmy ultimately wins. But then also we get 3 powers like boom, boom, boom entering the game, and then 2 of them end up getting immediately used. So I guess like what were your thoughts on these powers being introduced and like how they kind of played out?
Yeah, I actually really like these powers because, I mean, they're not just like game-breaking things, and I thought Kiana's power was really cool because it brings back an old house guest who, just plays in the comp, and it's not a guaranteed win, although it's pretty good chance when you bring back someone like Casey. And then even for Kelly with the like one-off veto, I mean, granted that was like one of the easier vetoes, unless you ask that other chick from the whatever season it was. I forget her name, the girl that like freaked
Caitlin
out.
Herman.
Caitlin, right, yeah.
Never forget, Chad, come on.
Yeah. But it's like, I mean, something like that, it's like, it was an easy comp, but she won the power, so they're not going to make it like too hard for her. So I really like the 2 powers that were used. I thought the Casey one was really cool, and I would love to see them bring something similar like that back. It's just fun, and again, neither are like guarantees, so it's like it adds a little flair and mystery if it's actually going to work and pay off.
Should they have, they brought Casey back from BB20. Should they have brought Caitlin back from BB20 and had it been a race between Kelly and Caitlin with like a very simple puzzle?
BB redemption.
Yeah, I think that would have been more fun because I thought for me that like puzzle, like when Kelly did it, I thought it was pretty. Like I thought that was like the most boring part of the Wednesday episode. And I thought Wednesday episode was actually pretty good overall and had like a lot of interesting things in there, and obviously the fight. But like, yeah, that puzzle was like so easy. It was like all the pieces were stacked in order, and it was.
I know they really were.
It was like, yeah. Like she basically took as long as a person with a functioning brain could feasibly take on it, and she still had like 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if it was like a 90-second timer, probably would have been a little more intense, but
yeah, she would have failed, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, depending on if like, presumably she could have gone like, made it a little bit more of an effort to go faster.
Right.
She had like less time. But yeah, on her face, yeah, she took more than 90 seconds on like an 8-piece puzzle that's on tracks that she got the pieces on in order. Like literally, I don't know. I tweeted out or I posted a picture of like one of those like baby shape games where you put the shapes in the right holes. And I was like, this was Kelly's puzzle to win the veto.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I agree with Chad. I like the twists. I like the powers. Like I'm not like a big powers guy on BB, because like there is cases where they misbalance them and have like one superpower each, like like one of the powers is like really OP and like kind of breaks the game. Even with Mickey's power here, which we don't get to see this week. There is it gets a coup d'etat, but there is the balance of like the HOH gets a chance to figure out who's trying to overthrow them, and if she gets called out, she loses the power and gets exposed. And at this point, like we see a little bit of it with Zach talking to individual people on the episode, but then also on the feeds. Like Zach was basically next to Mickey when she won this power. And he's pretty confident that she's the one that has it. And that has spread around the house to the point where, like, I really don't know if Mickey can effectively use his power against anybody except maybe, like, a Keanu who's, like, so deluded that he'd probably just blame Rachel, even if, like, everyone in the house is telling him, no, it's obviously Mickey. We all know Mickey has the power. He'd be like, nah, I still think Rachel has it. She set up this elaborate scheme to make everyone think Mickey has it so she could get away with screwing me over.
Yeah, the only thing I can think, if Mickey's like confident that she's gonna get called out if she uses it, if like Morgan were to win HOH, they could just agree to overthrow it, so then Morgan and Mickey get to play in the next HOH.
Well, I don't know how that would work.
Yeah,
but, like she will get revealed. Like if she's successful, I believe she will get revealed in her place. So I think that maybe, like, I mean, that would be an interesting way to play it if they want Morgan to be able to play back-to-back and potentially win back-to-back. And, like, they think Morgan has, like, a better chance of winning at any given comp than Mickey. They can basically, like, swap her in.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting way to play it.
Just trying to outside the box, make sure.
No, like, that is smart. Because, like, I don't know. I don't know how much Mickey realizes it's out there. I think that, like, she thinks it might be slightly out there, but I don't know if she realizes how, well, even Adrian is very confident that she has it.
Ooh,
like, who's very disconnected from the strategy in the house. Like I said, like literally like everybody except for Keanu, I think, would at least have her as their number one suspect.
Makes sense.
So it could be interesting though. Keanu wins this HOH. Keanu winning this HOH and then Mickey using it, and then Keanu blaming Rachel and him hating Rachel so much being the thing that stops him from getting the HOH to use to target Rachel would be brilliant. That would be incredible storytelling. So that could be fun. We'll see.
Completely blinded to everything because of his hatred.
But speaking of Keanu, I think one of the like biggest things that we saw on the episodes this week was this kind of Keanu Jimmy round 2, and we might get a round 3, because Keanu ends up staying in the house, where Keanu thinks that him and Jimmy are cool after they like had this makeup session at the end of last week. And so he trusted Jimmy again, but Jimmy was like, no, that was all fake and like, I still am going to target Keanu. And Jimmy does get power. He targets Keanu. And then we get this back and forth at the veto draw when Keanu activates his power. Possibly the most drama we've ever seen at a veto draw. Because like veto draws usually, like half the time the show skips over them. Like, yada yada's over them. That's how inconsequential they are. But because of the way that Keanu had to use his power, very fun back and forth where Jimmy and Keanu are taking pot shots at each other, and then Keanu has a very strange line that got under a lot of people's skin of, I'm gonna come after each and every one of you. Like, Take you out one by one. Like, Ashley's like, wait, what? What did you say?
Oh man, this is bad.
Yeah, I mean, getting in a fight with Jimmy's one thing, but yeah, being like, I'm going to take all of you out is like, all right, it wasn't quite there, Keanu. It wasn't quite like everyone was against you, but now everyone has a reason to be against you.
Yeah, now they are for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the objective of the game, is to take everyone else out and win, but you don't go out and say that week 2.
Yeah. You don't say the quiet part out loud.
It is very hard to root for this man. I think it's like, if he wasn't my winner pick, I would not like him. As a player at least.
Yeah. I like him in the sense that it's funny to see him kind of bumble through the season. Especially when I was also very high on him before the season. Just be like, oh, I was so wrong. All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
See, I'm on like the opposite end of that, because for me, I would be loving his like endless stream of entertaining television if he weren't targeting my winner pick so openly and aggressively. Because like, I don't think I've ever seen like on a cast that's full of people who are horrific at Big Brother, who have terrible social skills, terrible reads of the game, terrible strategic understanding. Like, this is not just isolated to one or two people. This is like half of the cast. I could be describing right now. Like, even amongst this cast, which is like one of the most like socially obnoxious and incompetent casts I've ever seen, Keanu still stands out like above the rest in terms of like his incapability of understanding social grace, his misunderstanding of the social structure of the house. He constantly and consistently goes after people who are interested in protecting him, and tries to make good with people who are like basically lying to his face and stabbing him in the back behind his back. He did this again with Adrian this week, where he spent so much of his week trying to campaign for Adrian to be safe, when Adrian has been going around in his campaign to everybody else saying, I'm going to win HOH and I'm going to take out Keanu. Like, this is my pitch for me to stay, is I will take out Keanu for you. And the probably the second or third biggest person in his corner this week has been Keanu. And so that kind of shows his like Keanu's instincts and understanding of what's going on in the game. He's pretty much like, you know, like, I know people have made like the George Costanza like the opposite joke, where like literally just take everything Keanu thinks and says and flip it on its head, and you'll get the truth, because he is wrong about everything.
Just brutal. Just brutal to see. And it's just like, at this point, he's believed so much wrong that it's like, I don't know if he can get back on track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's getting outplayed by Kelly. That's where we're at. Like, it's not good.
Like, there was a moment on Feeds week 1 when I was watching them where Rachel was kind of like being like, look, like, I know we didn't get off on the right foot, but like, I want you to be here. I want to work with you. I want, like, you know, to train. You can be my personal trainer in here, all that. And it's like, if he had just like taken Rachel up on this, he'd be in a lot, I would say a better position, right? Like, he wouldn't have everyone after him.
The only way he could be in a worse position is if he, like, you know, didn't have this power to win the veto for him, and he would be out. He couldn't be in the house still and be in a worse position. I'm straight up. Like, there's like, the only worst position he could be in is evicted.
Yeah. Just crazy.
I mean, didn't he say that he wants to make his target so big that people don't target him because it's like someone will take a pop at him eventually?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, that's the Dr. Will line. You have to have seen that in one of the compilations he watched before the season to prepare.
Right. I was like, wow, that's the smartest thing he said all season.
It is, but it's not deliberate. See, the issue is that is sort of happening to a degree right now, because of this like bubbling Morgan Catherine feud, or like war that's kind of brewing, where like he might be safe next week in certain circumstances, but it's not due to anything he's doing. Like it's completely because like he's just kind of survived enough weeks where like other people are prioritizing other people. But like the thing with that strategy in that line that Dr. Will used in BB7 was Will was a target because he was coming into All Stars as a former winner. He was a huge threat. He was perceived as one of the best players, if not the best player ever at that point, I think, in the show's history. At that point, he was like kind of low key running things on BB7. Like there were many things that were that put Dr. Will in this box that you would expect him to be a target because he was that good, right? And so he, had this idea of like, let me make my target so big that it disappears. And it works to a degree. It's a little bit kind of overblown that like was kind of what happened, but you don't have to get too deep into like the weeds of BB7. But like for that to be Keanu's strategy would imply that anything that he's doing to make himself a house pariah is deliberate, and it's not. Like it's like somebody dug their own grave and then they found themselves in a hole 6 feet down, and they were like, you know what? I love being in a hole. I could be in a hole all day. It's like, it's just retroactive justification for his bad gameplay.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense to me. I mean, I just don't see how. He can keep winning, I guess, his way out of it, but that's going to be tough. Although there are 2 competitions now, so we'll see.
No, I mean, look, he could survive. He could continue to survive a few extra weeks, but like I think his runway is like very, very short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his ceiling is like first or second jury, if that.
Yeah.
That'd be like crazy.
That's a reach.
Yep.
It's kind of like Cody on BB19, where it's like everything had to break right for him to finish in the first jury spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was like, he also got evicted second,
but he came back in.
He came back. That was literally like everything had to break right in the terms of there was a buyback competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then his girlfriend immediately won HOH when he came back. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah, I mean, like we'll see how it plays out. Again, he could win out. Like you said, you have the veto and you have the BB blockbuster, but a lot of these comps have been more crapshooty, more mental. Like the BB blockbuster we just got, like it had a move back and forth with the pieces component, but it was like 80% just a puzzle. Like, and could Keanu win a puzzle? Yeah. I mean, I think he could, but like, it's still not necessarily like his skill set that you would imagine, like just pure strength. And then on top of that, his build is not particularly good for Big Brother, like physical comps. Like a build like Zach is way better for like, even Adrian, honestly, like is way better for like BB comps where it's more about like strength to weight ratio, grip strength, just like pure endurance, like that, those sort of physical attributes as opposed to just like brute strength. You look at somebody like Austin and BB17 who did not win like a huge amount of comps despite being like a similarly sized to Keanu. It's just not the type of build that wins comps usually.
I mean, think of all the like comp beasts that even Keanu himself pointed out. How many were just like these big buff guys? Like, I mean, Casey's just an athletic person.
Casey was a pro athlete, to be fair.
To be fair, I mean, Tucker.
Jag, Michael Bruner, right? Like these are the recent like kind of comp beasts. Like they're just kind of like in shape, like 20-something men.
They're cut. They're lean. They're just agile.
Yep.
Yeah, he's not going to be winning like a wall comp or like
no, that's his word.
Probably like the best
wall comp Wednesday.
Right. Probably like the best of that build was probably Beast Mode Cowboy, but he wasn't even like as big as like Keanu is, you know.
Yeah, and I think that he gets like the I was gonna say his cast was like not great at comps, but actually were like Frankie was really good at comps. Like Derek was obviously not too shabby. Cody was obviously really good. So and I think it's not a bad like trying to kind of shout, but yeah, it's like it's hard. It's really hard for somebody with that build to like do well. I think, which is doubly bad because people are going to look at you and be like, oh, this person is going to be great at comps, and then they aren't, and then you're getting targeted for being good, like for being a comp threat when you can't even win comps.
Yeah, so. It's funny because it's the same like in Survivor. Like very rarely, well, individual comps or challenges is this body type that good for it. Yeah, the tribal stuff's a lot different. It does help, but once it's individual, like the big boys aren't getting it done.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they're better on like the challenge.
Yeah, 100%.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, from like the 2 seasons of the challenge I've watched, it seems like the jacked guys are pretty good on that show.
Yeah, much more physically demanding than Big Brother.
Yeah, there's way more like, you know, mano-y-mano, like kind of wrestling style things. Like you have like the backpack, you have the like pole wrestling. There's a lot of like kind of, you know, challenges where just kind of pure strength and like athleticism will win.
Yeah.
So obviously, you know, Casey came in, like Adrian was close to winning that challenge.
Yeah.
If Casey doesn't come in, maybe he does.
I think he does.
I don't know who the 6th person would have been, but you know, he would have been pretty solid. But very fun to have Casey back in the house. 7 years, she's still a beast. You know, it was a cool moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
I look forward to like people in the future looking at like her BB wiki page and seeing like all her comp wins in BB20 and then just one random comp win in BB27.
I thought somebody put together like a statistic chart for most likely to win any given comp, like, and they scaled it based off of number of players in the comp, kind of. Mm-hmm. So like, you know, like kind of like how much they're batting above replacement level for like what the expected value is for like the number of people in the comp. And prior to Casey winning this, Jag was the number 1 by a lot, and this pushed Casey above him into number 1. Nice. If you count this as a Big Brother comp that on her record as a win.
I don't see why you wouldn't.
Oh, I know.
Right? She played it is on Big Brother. She is against people actively in the house. Like,
so there you go. Casey Clark, now the most likely player to win any given comp from Big Brother history.
That's great. I want to take a look at that list. Let me know if you can find it.
Yeah, it's on Reddit somewhere. You can find it.
I love that. I remember like God, what was his name? Cody's brother.
Paulie.
Paulie. It felt like Paulie was winning stuff like at a crazy clip before he got evicted. I wonder if he would rank on that.
I don't think he was. I think Cody was on it. I think Cody was like in the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Cody was a beast.
Yeah.
You know, especially All-Stars. He really was great.
Yep.
So, very interesting. What was that, Chet?
I said my one best winner pick.
I mean, it was a pick. You read the whole season.
Yeah. No, you have Cody. I have Xavier, and you know, Brian. You know, actually still on the game technically. Also really, really horrible at Big Brother, but
yeah. I have Big D coming in second.
Yes.
That was a good pick.
Yeah. He didn't win, but he made it all the way to second. So
he won in our hearts.
He won in our hearts.
He won in somebody's heart, probably.
He won the cookout.
Yeah. Hey, I saw him on Twitter the other day. He's lost a lot of weight. He's looking good. So shout out Big D. Not so big anymore.
I mean, to be fair, you know, like obviously, like him winning comps would have been helpful for his game, but like, you know, his comparability and his weight had very little to do with his lack of success on Big Brother.
True. Yeah.
It was pretty much his strategic game and his personality, I would say.
I think he was trying to get on other shows, and he thinks that slimming down will help him with that.
No, I mean it's great for him, 100%. I'm just saying, like that's
just generally good to get a little healthier.
But that's just that wouldn't have been the difference. Like I'm not gonna like be like, oh, Big D's on All Stars 3, like well, I wasn't gonna think he was gonna do well, but now he's way more in shape. Like he's still not. Yeah,
I would still think he probably would do fine, even if he didn't lose the weight. I think he'd do all right. But anyways, that's not the point. That's your Big D segment for the episode, probably for the season. But hard to imagine when it come up again. But one thing like I really wanted to talk about is just kind of like encapsulate, all the whole week, Jimmy's HOH.
Yep.
How like on the one hand, all three of his initial nominees got off the block. That's bad. On the other hand, he flushed 2 powers, which that could be good.
I mean, sure, but like,
I'm grasping at straws here.
Yeah, that's not really like the headline here. I think that like the one thing that we did get from this episode was what I would say is the headline, which is like after, like right at the start of the episode, after the second veto ceremony, we get this Mickey diary room and then the Mickey and Morgan conversation that Jimmy kind of awkwardly walks into, where they're very upset. Like this is not like a small like piece of the story. Like this is a major story element that could feed into next week, which is like he has severely pissed off his closest allies by not really including them or like legitimately listening to their ideas about who the renom should be. Like I said at the top of the show, Morgan and Mickey are targeting Catherine primarily right now. But, alongside Catherine, you have like tangential to her, Riley and Lauren. And so those are the 3 names that Morgan and Mickey were pitching to Jimmy to put up, even as just pawns. Because they want Catherine out. They don't like Catherine. A lot of the house doesn't like Catherine. And Jimmy basically just like didn't even consider that as an idea because he spent a lot of this week trying to cozy up with Catherine and Lauren as potential like side allies, which is like, it's good in theory, right? If you're the HOH and you think you have a solid kind of foundation to use that power to like try to branch out, get side alliances, build other relationships that aren't as strong. That's good in theory, but you can't do it at the expense of your existing alliance, your existing relationships, your existing friends. Because like you're basically like burning one bridge that's already built to try to start building another one. So like you have a fully built bridge. And by the end of the week, you've burnt that one to the ground, and you have now a half-built bridge on the other side of the river. And it's like, okay, well, you've just taken a step back for no reason.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, what was like? I guess when people were coming to him this week on the feeds and pitching like different people, what was Jimmy doing? What was like? He's just like not listening at all and just being like, I just want to do this person instead.
Well, no, it's not that he wanted to do Amy and Will. It's that he had basically like talked himself into thinking that Amy and Will were the only options that didn't burn relationships that he was trying to build. Because like I said, he was trying to build some kind of relationship or bond with Catherine and Lauren and potentially use them into the future. And so if you have that and you have him with the heavy hitters, which is like kind of still holding on, it's not real, but it's like, they've kicked Riley out, but like the 5 of them are still not really like a fully formed alliance. Rachel is very much on the peripheral of it. Like I guess like from his perspective, he's like, who can I put up that won't piss off somebody that I'm trying to not piss off. And he basically is like, the only options are Amy and Will. Like, that won't piss off anybody that I care about. And like, from that perspective, I get it. But by like playing that way, you're not pissing anyone off in terms of like, they're not going to be up, like Morgan and Mickey are not upset that Amy is gone, right? But they're upset that he basically kind of wasted this HOH, which they could have used to solidify the power more. And he has been so dismissive of them as allies that they don't really trust him going forward as somebody who's going to be an equal partner in the game. So, yeah, it's just like he really did not have a good handle on what his priority should have been in getting through this week. And I think there was also a lot of visits last week where too scared to do something that could piss somebody off, you end up like kind of pissing everyone off because you're not taking a side. You're not like taking a stand on behalf of anyone. You're just trying to like take no stands on behalf of no one, and that is going to piss off the people who expect you to take a stand on their behalf.
Who would have been like a good person to him to get out that would have like pleased the most amount of people? Other than
Keanu and Kelly, obviously.
Yeah.
Because Keanu and Kelly would be like, 1A and 1B for that.
Right.
So I think probably Riley is probably, I think Riley is probably the one. Like the only people that really have like a strong relationship with Riley are Catherine, and then to a lesser extent, a couple of the guys. Like Vince has kind of like tried to form a thing with Riley. Zach has tried to form a thing with Riley, but I think that like even they would be like perfectly willing to cut bait with him. But like the reason that the main reason Jimmy is not putting up Riley here is because of Catherine. And so that's like the relationship that he didn't want to mortgage. But like you kind of have to pick and choose your battles at this point when you're putting up a fourth and fifth nominee. You have to take a stand. Yeah,
and I mean, going forward, do you think Jimmy's really, I guess, tanked his game with this? Or is there room for recovery?
There is room for recovery, yeah. He's definitely taken a big hit because I don't think that Mickey and Morgan are ever going to fully trust him again or like fully want to work with him like deep into the end game. And they have talked about potentially not targeting him themselves, but being happy if they can get somebody else, maybe like an Ashley, to target him for them. So yeah, he's definitely taken a hit. It is recoverable. I think he has started to recover it. He has started to reform new alliances, potentially bringing in Ava and Will, potentially bringing in Ashley. Like there are pieces in place here for Jimmy to pick up and get back on track. But he took a huge social hit, and if this house was more solidified in terms of structure, he would probably be way more dead in the water. But it isn't. There is no structure in this house right now. It's a bunch of little pockets of power.
So very interesting. Unfortunate for Jimmy. To really when you get an early HOH, I feel like you have so much potential power.
Yeah.
So you can shape the future of the game so much, and to kind of let that slip through your fingers is bad. I mean, we saw a few seasons ago Heisem just completely nuke his own game for no reason.
Been a lot of Heisem.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. It reminded me of Heisem. But you're seemingly saying it's not quite as dire as that.
No, it's not quite as dire as that. No. Because with BB25, right, the sides were pretty solidified by the time Heisem's HOH was over. And Heisem's side had like basically completely turned on him, and so he didn't really have any kind of like life raft to grab onto. Whereas here, there's not really like that kind of a solidified situation, and Jimmy is not, by not burning people like Catherine and Lauren and Riley, is not going to be targeted by them if they were in HOH. But like there are a couple of people that he probably will be targeted by. But the thing is too, he also has a situation with Keanu where again, Keanu is not targeting Jimmy. Like maybe he puts Jimmy up on the block, but Keanu's target is going to still be Rachel, even after the like 14 arguments with Jimmy publicly, Jimmy putting him on the block as his target, and like all of these things. Like Keanu still does not want to target Jimmy. So like there's like he might get away with this. But it's still bad. It still like significantly hurt his game.
Yeah, it's just like I feel like he had a very sloppy HOH. I mean, granted, he did have to nominate 5 people.
Yeah.
And granted, the outcome wasn't really like who cares? Like, Amy wasn't a major player at this point. So, but the way he went about it was just so sloppy, and I feel like that alone, like you guys are saying, he can recover from it because it's so early, and it's tough when it's this early of an HOH because, yes, you can take that safe route and just evict someone that really isn't, a major part of the game at the time, or you can take a big shot. But he, tries to take his own shot, doesn't listen to his alliance, ends up getting someone out that doesn't even remotely matter. But in doing that, as you said, Ben, burned a lot of bridges, or at least nearly burned them completely. So I don't know. It was sloppy, but kind of a crappy scenario when there's so many renoms and powers in play. So I think overall it's a kind of fail, but mostly fail, but not completely.
Yeah.
It's like a D. Not quite an F.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I would say like a D plus. I think if for me, like Vince was like a D because he also put up somebody like an ally, right? Technically, that would be like if Jimmy put up like Morgan or something,
right.
Or try to compare to what like Vince is doing. But with that being said, Vince is actually in a really strong position right now because his kind of game personality, and a couple people have started to realize this, but it's not as many as you would think. His whole personality in the game is just being like a yes man. Like he will join conversations and he'll just agree with whoever he's talking to, vociferously, and never actually give his thoughts on anything, which I think is probably part of why he was such a bad HOH. Because that's like a situation where you need to exercise your own agency.
Right.
There's a lot of what would you do during his HOH, and everyone being like, I mean, just do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm not familiar with the concept.
Mm-hmm. I'm not familiar with the concept of having my own opinions.
I mean, that's really good for Vince if he can take all this information he's learning from everyone and then pick his side, maybe come a round jury. Or even if he can even pick later in jury.
He's got to do it though. He's got to
you got to pick a side.
Start having a backbone at some point.
Right. Yeah. It's hard because it is a really good, very simple social strategy in the game, which is just every conversation you're in, give nothing. Just be an active listener where you are agreeing with everything everyone is saying and, being a hype man for people. And that's people like that, right? People like somebody who gives nothing back to them of their own, but who is just being yeah, you're so right. Everything you're saying is so right. You're spitting right now. Everything you got, I totally agree. But whatever, everything you're saying is the absolute truth, it's effective. I don't know how long it'll be effective, but it's effective for right now. And he's in a really strong position because of it.
He's a floater, but he's handing out beers to people and making everyone happy.
Yeah, I mean, the idea, and I know we've talked about this before, the idea that being a floater is an inherently bad thing in Big Brother is not true. Like, you got to pull it off, but like, if you're floating between the power and the power is never targeting you, that's good, actually.
Yeah. Well, from that perspective, let's talk about Ava, because I think
Okay.
that right now, like, we have what I would consider the closest thing I've seen to like a BB-15 structure, without the racism, obviously. But
That's
the
good.
BB-15,
That's like important
yeah,
thing
it's
to
got
add.
sort of caveat. But if BB-15 didn't have so much controversy attached to it, it's like a very strategically interesting season, because similar to this season, there isn't really like a strong, stable power structure. Like, we talked about the moving company already, and we made like Nick Uhas comparisons.
Yeah.
But like, the moving company fell apart very fast, and after that, there was just kind of like these pockets of power that sort of like orbited around each other and somewhat intersected here and there, and everyone just kind of did things that were individually good for them and their group of people, without really having like a ton of strong alliances up until like the mid or late game. And that's kind of what we're seeing here. And in that season, Andy was not really like in a lot of those like early power structures, but he was always like tangential to them, and he was never targeted by anyone, which is why people considered him to be like a floater in the conventional sense of the word, and why he was able to be so successful, especially leading down into the end game. I think that the person that's doing that right now in this house the best is Ava. Like, she is liked by everyone. She is not perceived as like one of the powerhouse players in the game.
Nope.
And she is tangentially connected to basically every power structure, like mini power structure in the house. So I'm very interested to see if she can parlay this into like a strong position, because like right now she has all the pieces she needs to like really make a run for this game.
Yeah, it's so interesting because like she's in this spot and now it's like, all right, Ava, do you have it in you to like capitalize on this spot that like anyone would pray to be in, essentially?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see.
We shall
We'll
see.
see.
I think an HOH would probably ruin her.
Yeah, at this point you don't necessarily want to show your cards if you're her, right?
Yeah, which is why, I mean, I'm one of those people that like hate seeing someone like blatantly throw or sit a competition, much like Jeff
Right.
Probst in Survivor. But Ava did it the one time that she could, and no one would even notice by just sitting in the dark. I'm sure people caught on to it eventually, but
people knew, but they didn't care.
Yeah, I was like, okay, kudos to her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and like Ava is someone who, like, if she loses a competition, you're not going to be shocked.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And if she like fell ass backwards into a power that competition, it would have made her do something, or got the HOH. So I think sitting there actually isn't really that bad of a move.
I mean, even this week, her winning HOH wouldn't be horrible, because she still has the easy two noms of Keanu and Kelly in the house. Like, basically anybody in the house that doesn't want to take a shot and just wants to play like an easy week has two free noms like on the table that is going to piss off nobody, in Kelly and Keanu. So like, maybe now is the time to, like, if you're in a good spot, just win HOH, put up Kelly, Keanu, and X, whoever is the like person you're least connected to in the house, and just like see where the dice roll, and hopefully head into the next week with like nothing really significantly changing in the way the structure is set up.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Derek in BB16 getting Devin out.
Yep.
It was just like so obvious that everyone wanted Devin out, and Derek was the one to do it, and it made him look great to everyone else.
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's a great time. I mean, I've personally compared Keanu to Devin. I think that they're very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of HOH, who'd be an interesting HOH? We just said Ava, but like other than Ava, going into next week, who do you think would be an especially interesting HOH?
I mean, I don't particularly think Ava would be an interesting HOH because, like I said, I think she would just do very easy, basic noms.
Fair enough.
We just talked about him. I think Vince is the most interesting HOH for me. Run it back, and it's because of what we just talked about, which is like he doesn't take a stand. He's like forming all of these alliances with everybody. Like he has probably the strongest connection to Kelly of anyone in the house, if not like one of the strongest. He has one of the strongest connections to Keanu of anyone in the house. So like of the people in the house who like would have the roughest time of making the easy Kelly Keanu knobs, he would be one of them because he does actually have somewhat of a relationship to both of them. So like between him kind of having a relationship with everyone because of just the way that he interacts socially with people and how abysmal his first HOH was and like how much of a mess it was, that would be potentially really fun. Again, we could just see Kelly, say, put me up again and volunteer again.
Oh my god!
But like, barring that, I think that it would be both interesting from a perspective of he would have to show his cards, and we would have to have him, wringing his hands about showing his cards again, which was like fun. It was frustrating, but fun, and we would, I would say. So I'm down for Vinny 2.0.
I like it.
Yeah. Chad, you agree there?
I would agree. Maybe him or like a Lauren, where we kind of don't really see her that much, or really know who she's got on her radar.
Mm-hmm. Who's the girl who got hit by a train? Becky.
Oh, Becky, yeah.
When she won HOH, I know. That's all I can think of. But when she won HOH, like in week 3 of that season, there was a little bit remind me of Lauren, where it's like I don't really know what she would do with it, but I'm interested to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think that she would probably do Morgan and then maybe Mickey and then probably Ashley or maybe like a Keanu or a Kelly. But like, It's like, for me, because of the way like this like Morgan, Mickey, Catherine, Riley, Lauren thing has been brewing, any of the 5 of them winning could be very exciting, but I don't know if it would be interesting. Like it could cause a drama, but it wouldn't be like, I don't know what they're going to do. Like I think I have a pretty good idea of what they're all going to do. And it could cause chaos because it would be people actually finally taking shots. But
right.
it would not be like some huge surprise or like, I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. So heading into next week, we can kind of expect most of the people winning HOH are just going to put Keanu, Kelly, and one other person, Riley, let's say, on the block.
I would say, I don't even know if I would say most. I would say maybe like around half of people would probably do that. And then, like I said, there's like this contingency of people who are close to Morgan who would target Catherine, and people who are close to Catherine who would target Morgan.
So hopefully we'll get somebody in either of those groups just for an interesting week.
Yeah.
We don't want to do another week of
Kelly
Keanu. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a Kelly or Keanu regardless because there's 3 knobs, 2 chances to get off the block, and a power that no one besides I already forget her name has and knows.
Oh yeah, Mickey has it. Zach
Mickey's power. Mickey's the only one that knows what the power does. So as far as I'm aware,
well, Morgan knows too.
Okay. So with that looming in the background too, I think Keanu and Kelly's just so easy to play it safe. And why shake up the house week 3 unless you're, in a position to?
Yeah. I'm hoping personally we come back from feeds and Keanu's in that HOH bathrobe and we're just in
Oh my
for an
God.
insane week.
Yeah, I mean, again, I would be down for that if he wasn't targeting Rachel. I don't want Rachel to get targeted. So,
Who'd
That's
you put him?
fair.
Rachel, Jimmy, and I don't know.
no, I think he would target. I think he would do Rachel, Ashley, and maybe Jimmy. It could be Jimmy.
So Chad's winner pick in power, our winner picks on the block.
Yeah, well, we could talk about Ashley. I mean, look, Ashley is really not.
Yeah.
No, like
Well, we
Ashley.
didn't have to.
Yeah. Look, I mean, I would say she's like almost as deluded as Keanu when it comes to like understanding the game and her position in it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Not great.
she is like spent a lot of this week putting in work to protect Zach when Zach like openly despises her and wants her out. And she spent multiple times during conversations with Amy saying that if they both stay in the house, they have to take out Rachel when Rachel is like one of her only allies. So like, this is just kind of like that's the level of strategy you're getting from Ashley when she's not like, you know, coming off like a entitled rich girl, and when she's not like putting her foot in her mouth and insulting people, when she's not like, you know, making snide comments and refusing to clean, when she's not, you know, calling people out, saying, you know, Vince is going to win the game and having that get back to Vince, so that Vince doesn't now want her in any kind of long-term structure. Like, there's just like, I could go on for an hour on all of the horrible things that Ashley has done in the game in the last week.
So we'll see if she wins HOH.
I mean, there's a non-zero chance he puts up fucking Rachel. Honestly, like it would be. It's so stupid. Like she's just really like her best noms obviously would be just like Riley, Catherine, Lauren, or like some combination of them, and like a Keanu or a Kelly. But like, I don't even trust that she would do like very obviously the correct thing.
Right. Oh boy.
We sure can pick him, Brian.
I mean, look, no, I was also like on board with both Keanu and Ashley preseason. I think both Keanu and Ashley were very popular winner picks in the preseason, which just goes to show that like a lot of the time you just can't get anything from these small like 5-minute snippets. And people can
That's what
come
makes
up.
it so fun though to pick
Well, it also doesn't help when people are like misrepresenting at the very least, if not outright lying about their level of knowledge of the show, which both Ashley and Keanu did. Like Keanu was like referencing like the most obscure Big Brother things ever, which made everyone think that he was a super fan, when in reality he's never watched the show and only watched some like clip compilations. And it's because he watched clip compilations with like really obscure clips, and those are the things that stuck in his brain, that's why he was referencing those things. And Ashley also has made it seem like she's a much bigger fan than she is. So like, yeah, I think that also didn't help.
No. Oh man. Well, anything else from this week that we want to touch on that we haven't yet?
Nope.
It
was a fun week. It was a fun week, despite the fact that Jimmy tried to make it not a fun week. Yeah, I'm excited to see who wins HOH.
Me too. All right, Chad, anything you want to promote before we get on out of here?
I'd like to say that if this video gets 1,000 likes, I want to use the coup d'etat on my winner pick and pick someone else.
All right. Yeah, hey. If this video gets 1,000 likes on the Have Not Room channel, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, I'll let you do. I'll let both of you repick your winner picks. I don't care.
So please like, everybody. We need it. Ben, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I posted a little bit about BB over on Blue Sky. Get on Chat BCC. It's there's a lot of
you were talking about this before.
happening.
What is Chat BCC?
It's a new social media platform that is kind of like I don't know how it works. I got in there because I knew I got in there like right before the season started because it's like another place that people are talking about Big Brother. I haven't really been in there, but then I saw that there was alumni drama, so I was like, oh, let me open this up and see what's going on. So,
Oh my God.
Be
if
careful
you wanna-
what I'm typing here with BCC.
yeah, so
I misspelled that one.
yeah, it's
Don't
not
wanna
a
chat
great
about
name.
That's a different chat room.
Yeah. It's not chat roulette. It's not chat GPT. It's like it's like if Zay's already on chat BCC trying to figure out how we can get some strats for next season. If he gets brought back, because it probably would have been Zay would have been better off asking chat BCC for strategy tips for Big Brother than chat GPT, which is what he did. So
No, did he really?
yeah, no, Zay actually. So Zay's friends, obviously, with Sammy from Survivor 43, and Sammy picked him up with some Big Brother alum because Corey talked about this that like he was supposed to have a conversation about Big Brother with Zay to like give him advice, and Zay said he didn't want any advice from players and he wasn't going to watch the show at all. He was only going to ask ChatGPT for advice on how to win Big Brother. So
All right.
Really?
Huge indictment on chat G.
yes,
Whatever.
just goes to show how fucking useless AI is.
Yeah. It's like, well, you want to make sure that you're good with the public since they vote on it. This is the wrong one. This is the wrong show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
man.
But that's hilarious. If you in the future, anyone listening gets an opportunity to talk to past players, should probably do it. Can't hurt.
Literally, just watch the show. It's like you can put it on when you're exercising. It's not like hugely mentally, like you could literally just like get on an elliptical, get on like a treadmill, throw on episodes of Big Brother at like 1.25 speed, and get through them. Like you can fast forward through a lot of junk. Like you could get through like 2 or 3 seasons pretty easily if you have the motivation to. Like there's no excuse, right? Like Ava apparently, but binged a ton of Big Brother before this season. Taylor famously before her season binged like 12 seasons of Big Brother. Like,
yeah,
if there's a will, there's a way. As Chad said at the start of the, at the start of the episode, we're bringing it back. Like, if you care about doing well at Big Brother, the resources are very openly available to you, and they're not on ChatGPT.
I'm gonna build my own wall comp in my backyard and just hang off of that and watch Big Brother. I'll be ready.
Yeah, great. Yeah, there you go. So yeah,
anything would be better than what Zay did.
No, like literally anything. Doing nothing probably would have been better because it probably gave him bad advice.
Man.
Yeah. But like, yeah. So if you don't want to be like, obviously, nobody's gonna be listening to us who it doesn't watch the show. So like, we're speaking to nobody right now. But if your friends or family who don't watch the show end up on getting cast on Big Brother, they get recruited, or they like apply on a whim, or you like make them apply and they get cast, which does happen. Sit them down and force them to watch at least a couple of seasons of Big Brother. And if they say they don't want to, tell them, do you want to win $750,000 or do you want to look like Zay and Keanu? And they'll say, who is Zay and Keanu? Exactly.
Yeah. I made my account. I'm ready. I followed Big Brother 27. I'm ready for the drama, Ben.
Yeah, you have to scroll back for like an hour or so.
Okay, damn it.
I mean, we are very close to just plugging Paramount Plus at this point. If that's still a
they gotta pay us.
Yeah, they gotta pay us for that. But like, you can get the season. There are multiple places you can get the seasons.
Right.
Are varying levels of economical, and no matter what, I don't care what platform you watch the show on. just watch the show, please.
Yes, please. All right. Well, as for me, main channel Wicked Everything just put a new video up there about Vampire Survivors. My current like obsession in terms of gaming. We got weekly videos there. We got this new channel, the Have Not Room. If you're watching it on this channel, thank you. If you're on Better Radio, please check that one out because we have like clips from the longer episodes as well as like other random videos that I'll make during the week. We have Those Fake Nerds, Wicked Good Sports. We have Wicked Scary, which is officially starting production tomorrow. I've been for the last like 2 months putting like every spooky video that we did for the main channel onto it. But now I'm going to be starting to make actual videos just for that channel. So go check that out. Follow on TikTok for the Have Not Room and all the others. And yeah, we got a lot of content is what I'm saying. Like, it can keep you very entertained if the live feeds aren't keeping you entertained. So go check that all out. And thank you so much for listening. We will see you in the next one.